Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today, we're breaking down this past weekend's domestic box office, which was President's Day weekend, which was February 14th to the 16th. We're not going to break down the 4-day. We're just going to focus on here the 3-day weekend. We're also going to look ahead to the upcoming weeks of what's hitting theaters this weekend and previewing every video hitting my channel for the next week. So welcome back to Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. If you're new to the channel, sorry, not Paddington, box office. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for notifications. I do movie and TV show reviews, out-of-theater reactions, weekly movie rankings, as well as every single week here on Monday, you'll find my new box office breakdown show. In the coming weeks, starting in March, I'll be breaking down the worldwide domestic total numbers for the year. We're just too early in the year to start breaking down those big numbers just yet, but I usually wait until March, 2 months movies in, to start actually doing that. Please comment down below. What are your thoughts on this past weekend's box office? Will Captain America gain steam or lose steam? Where will it end its run? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, please hit that thumbs up button, guys. Really help support the channel more than you guys think. The more you guys like my videos, the more I'll be recommended to find new viewers who can subscribe and join the channel. We're trying to get to 300 subscribers by the end of February, so please hit that subscribe button and join us here on that grind to 300. So without further ado, let's get into this past weekend's box office, which was, as I said, the February 14th to the 16th. And at number one, of course, was Captain America: Brave New World. This was the first of 3 MCU movies hitting theaters this year after they only had one last year. And Captain America: Brave New World opened domestically to $87.8 million. Now, it did open to around 100 for the 4-day, but 87.8, I think, is a solid opening, but it's a far cry of what the MCU is, especially for a Captain America film. Now, yes, this is not Chris Evans, this is not Steve Rogers, but it's the Captain America brand. So there's been a lot of controversy with the movie, and I do not believe, in my opinion, this movie deserved the amount of hate that it's gotten. I don't think it's a very good movie, but I also don't think it is an all-time abysmal movie. I don't think it's a bottom 5 to 10 bottom 5 MCU movie. There are so many worse films they've made than this, but of course this one, we're at a time where it feels like every movie now, if it's divisive, people just have passionate hate towards something. I'm not on that train, though. I'm not someone I would give it a rotten review, but not not one of the worst movies I'll see all year. But this movie garnered the worst cinema score in the history of the MCU, a B minus. Now, usually movies sit around either an A as a really high to around a B plus. If you're in the B range, that's kind of like very lukewarm. B minus is a bad cinema score for anything not horror, because horror has very wide range of opinions. So you can see C's for horror, and it still does well. The reason why people don't go off of Rotten Tomatoes audience scores, there are people who try to get verified just to help or hurt a project. And the movie does have an 80% RT audience score, but cinema score, the reason why cinema score is the most valid, helpful tool for us, people who cover the box office for its legs, is because cinema score tells us, will there be repeat viewing? It tells us, do people like it enough to tell other people to set the stage for longer legs at the box office? B minus tells us that this movie maybe does not have the big legs in it to even get to 500, 600 million dollars. Now, this movie, reportedly, they continue to tell us that it's a $180 million budget movie, but that really can't be true, because maybe it was from the onset, but the movie had beyond extensive reshoots, like reshoots that lasted 3 to 4 months. Reportedly, this movie could be budget around $300 million, which means you'd probably need around like $725 million worldwide to break even. Now, on the same thing, this movie is being compared to, box office wise, rightfully so, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Now, a lot of people got scared off by that because that movie did not do well. But if you remember, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania opened to around $120 million domestically and $240 worldwide, but ended at $424 million worldwide. It was a disaster. But that movie opened a lot bigger than Captain America: Brave New World. And that movie has a B cinema score, a slightly better cinema score than Captain America: Brave New World. So the question is, if this movie gets to Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania, where it doesn't even reach 500 million worldwide, this will be a disaster for Marvel. If the movie gets to a 6 in front of it, meaning at least 600 million worldwide, it makes it not an embarrassment. It makes it a not a successful, probably money loser, but not an awful laughing stock embarrassment. If the movie gets to around 7, that is probably a respectable number for this movie. A 6 in front of it makes it not embarrassing. 7 gives it a little bit some credibility, some respectability. But anything below a 6, and it is a disaster for Marvel and Disney. So this one, everyone's stating their opinions on if it's a disaster, if it's a bomb. We have to, again, bombs are not just made in opening weekend, especially for big tentpole movies like Marvel films. That's why I love doing box office breakdowns every week. I love to track movies week for week because that's how you can really tell if a movie is successful or not. So again, we will see if this movie does very well. But we'll have to wait week for week. There's not a major tentpole movie for another like 6 weeks. So there's definitely some competition with The Monkey and Mickey 17. The question is, can Captain America: Brave New World get any repeat viewing? I think I'm very nervous about that. In second place is the other new release this weekend. This is from Sony, Paddington in Peru. The third Paddington film opened to $13 million. Now again, the United States market was one of the last markets to get this movie. This movie is already up to 125 million worldwide. Now, again, this was the most expensive from a budget perspective Paddington film. Because the first film was around like a $35 million budget. It went up to 40 million. And now this movie has a $75 million budget. So it needs to hit around like the 180, $200 million worldwide range to break even. But Sony has been very adamant that this movie is very successful for them because they've already greenlit a Paddington 4, a Paddington series, and a possible Paddington theater play. Now, they have not officially greenlit it, but I'm saying they've been talking about it, and it's been in the headlines this weekend. So it seems Sony is like what Paddington Peru is doing, but I think this movie definitely could have opened bigger. But again, I know this is families and going up against Marvel, but again, families do go to see Marvel movies, so it wasn't. I don't think the best counter programming. I think this weekend actually would have been really good counter programming as The Monkey's hitting theaters. I think Paddington Peru would have done much better if it came out this weekend instead of going up against Captain America. Because if it's going against horror films, then yes, families would not want to go see a violent horror film and go see a family film. But again, families are choosing to see Captain America, not Paddington. So I think they missed their release date by a week, in my opinion. Hard Eyes got the biggest win of the weekend of non-Captain America as the movie increased its box office by 19% in its second weekend, $9.8 million up to $21.1 million domestically. This movie did not open very high, and it came out a week before Valentine's Day, but that strategy for Sony paid off, as it seemed like this was actually the Valentine's Day's movie people wanted to see instead of watching Love Hurts, which dipped 27% and is not in our top 5 this weekend. So horror is such a fascinating genre. It's my favorite genre of film. And people go out to see horror films. And while people maybe didn't rush out to see this the week before Valentine's Day, this was good counter programming to Captain America: Brave New World, as not just did it make money last weekend, it made even more money this weekend as Valentine's Day hit on the 13th. So, sorry, on the 14th. So, very good idea from Sony. The movie's budget's around $18 million, only made 21 domestic. So this movie should be able to make its money. If not here, it will be hitting once it hits digital. And then down the line, because it's a Sony film, it will be on Netflix. At number 4 this past weekend was Dogman from DreamWorks and Universal, dropping 29%, but another $9.8 million for Dogman, up to $66.8 million domestic. Not quite sure, probably not, won't really get to $100 million. We'll see how close it gets, but still a very solid outing from DreamWorks and Universal. And rounding the top 5 is a huge story here with Neja 2. Which opened in domestic markets in only 660 theaters and made $7.3 million. That is an $11,000 per theater average. That is amazing. Now, again, The story with this movie is that it is the first movie supposedly ever to make $1 billion in one market. And that market obviously is China. Now, again, China has been very murky about how they report their box office. But reportedly, the movie's already made well over $1 billion just in China. And it seems like that news and that being in the headlines this year got enough people to see that. Again, 660 theaters to make $7 million is a massive achievement. The distributor is CMC Pictures. Massive win for them to get into the top five. And they got in the top five by 3 million, not by an inch, by a lot, by over $3 million. So good for them. So this movie continues to be in the headlines. So as I said, coming out this weekend is The Monkey. This comes from director Osgood Perkins, who directed horror sleeper hit last year in Long Legs. I am very excited to check out that movie. It is the only major movie hitting theaters this weekend. So it will be counter programming. It probably will hurt Hard Eyes more than any film, because obviously this is another horror film. So we'll see how the movie hits. Theo James is the lead. Obviously, he's coming off a big outing in season 2 of White Lotus. But this is his first kind of mainstream movie leading role. So we'll see if he will become a big star in Hollywood, and Osgood Perkins will become a major focus in directing horror films for the foreseeable future. So here's my schedule of events for this week. So today, you're getting my box office breakdown show. Tomorrow, you'll get my review of the new Apple TV movie, The Gorge, starring Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy. Wednesday, you'll get my spoiler review of the final 2 episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. That season 1 is already done, wrapping up on Wednesday. So you'll get my full spoiler breakdown on that. Thursday, you'll get my spoiler review of episode 5 of season 3 of Invincible. Friday, you'll get my at-a-theater reaction and review of The Monkey. I'm hoping one video for next weekend. That should be my ranking of all 4 Captain America films. I don't love toppling videos on top of each other, so kind of spreading it out. So Saturday or Sunday, I will have my Captain America movie ranking, as well as back here on Monday for another box office breakdown show. Now, I also want to give an announcement, which says I gave you guys a promise, beginning of the year, the channel will have more new stuff to it. And I was supposed to be working with my friend, but we're both in our situation in our lives where we both are heavily focused on the job hunt, getting us completely back on our feet. So at some point, my friend will join me and edit videos with me. But for right now, I'm just going to be doing this myself. So starting next Monday, because this week I really do want to focus on my personal life and getting that stuff together. Next week, I will be editing videos myself, adding stuff to the channel. It's going to be a work in progress, but stick with me. I'm going to try to make the channel better and keep improving it. Let me know any thoughts. If you have any recommendations on either editors or ideas to make the channel better, let me know in the comments section down below. If you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, you can also DM me on those, and I will definitely come back to you and reach out to you if you know any editors, or if you just want any ideas on what could help the show improve. So definitely let me know in the comment section. But starting for next weekend, next Monday's box office show, you'll see some new flourishes here with the channel. So thank you guys so much for supporting. Get us to 300 subscribers by March, and I'll see you guys in the next video.